It's always so weird when we're like pimping.
Ever wonder how much cash is in Circa Sports owner Derek Stevens' wallet? $5,000, $10,000, $100,000. Circa Sports is giving you the chance to win a piece of Derek's wallet.
Whose idea was this?
Win your share of $100,000. Simply bet $100 and earn 1 share. Bet $500 and earn 2 shares. Visit circasports.com for details.
I'm gonna need a bigger wallet.
It's out there.
This game is once in a century. Be there at Casey's Center on February 12th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Oh, yeah.
For everything.
Cade Love. Yeah, we want to.
The Murph Andy Show is brought to you in part by Ramsey Subaru, home of the toughest, most reliable cars in the world, and the people who back them up, on Hickman Road in Urbandale.
New day.
Attention all campers.
Keith Murphy.
What I do have are a very particular set of skills I've acquired over a very long career.
Andy Fales.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway.
Powered by AD.
Just a bit outside.
Murph and Andy. Live and on demand across Iowa everywhere from the Channel Seed Studios. Murph and Andy. Connected by Cellular Advantage.
Hey, this is Murph and Andy here live on a Friday. We're live at the Boulder Tap House in Ankeny. Andy, we have some people here that came to see the show, and we have some people here that are like, what is going on back there? What are those guys doing?
I think that's we get that mix just about every time that we're out, but this is fun, and this is fun. This is our third Friday out live, and we are in Ankeny. It's been a little while, and I was just starting to wonder, I wonder if Ankeny is still there. And then I got off the highway, and it very much is.
There was something that led you to believe it might not be here?
I don't come up here all that often.
It's a fast-growing town.
I want to check in, and sure enough, you get off the highway, and you're immediately in a traffic jam. And you're like, okay, Ankeny's doing fine.
It's one huge suburb.
It is. It's funny. Don't you wonder? Some of these suburbs where there's Ankeny or Grimes or Waukee. Do their city leaders ever wonder, like, yeah, I wish we had, put this city just like a little bit farther away from the highway. I mean, I understand they pop up around the highway, and it's because the highway goes through there. But they grow so fast, and there's just not enough. Like the infrastructure can't keep up, so the roads are busy, and I think there's a few decades of them just trying to catch up to their own growth. But Ankeny is one of those spots, boy. I mean, there's like, 3, 4 Ankeny exits, and you pick any one of them at any time of the day, and it's busy.
And fast food. Yeah, you need a convenience store, fast food, boom, right there.
You get any kind of fast food that you want to get, right? They've got it all. And we are right off the highway at the Boulder Tap House. It is the best way to describe it. It's right across Delaware Avenue from Carl Chevrolet. So it's right here at that second Ankeny exit if you're headed north from Des Moines to Ames. Just east of the highway, right there. There's a Duluth Trading Company here, which, by the way, I used to go. Great socks and underwear.
Great underwear. Yes.
Really good underwear. And
big fan.
Yeah, they've got. This is the exit where the Walmart's over there. The
Stop in and get a pair of underwear.
Yeah.
Come by Boulder Tap. One 2-stop shopping. AD, you have a family here.
Yeah. My brother Brad's in from Colorado. We're doing a Downs family Christmas tomorrow. So, I got my niece and nephew, sister-in-law, my little brother Cade, or Colin, rather.
Oh,
Sorry,
Colin.
Cade.
Yeah, that's Colin.
That's Colin.
Yeah.
Well,
Colin's here. All of this is happening off camera at this time.
Yeah.
My son Colin is here.
Yep.
And he is eating clean. Because, yesterday wind chill was -1. He's training for a half marathon. So he's out running in that bitter cold, which sounds nonsensical to me. And then earlier today, I was out running errands, picking up contact lenses. I brought him back a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Tore the buns off it?
No, he just was like, I don't want the cheeseburger. I'm eating clean. I don't, So now he's getting grilled chicken here and vegetables.
God. What a waste to
I
go to.
know,
No offense.
What a waste of youth, right? What a waste of youth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
This is the age you got to eat all that kind of stuff because it doesn't actually get onto your body.
Yeah, does he look like he needs to eat clean? Have a burger and some fries.
Yeah,
Come on.
dirty it up a little bit.
All right, the Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for sports and more today, including LaVar leaving Kirk school and Drippiest drip. That is all coming up. Guest House Tavern nightly specials, including Friday's surf and turf night. And it's that time of year you might want to call ahead because the restaurants are busy.
Yeah, we actually have a reservation there tonight, and it was I put in what time I wanted, and I wasn't even close. And that was like earlier this week. So
we have something
they're doing
at
good
4 or 11.
Yeah, they're doing, and they do have good happy hour, right? You could sit at the bar and be just fine there. But yeah, it's something you need to plan ahead on at this time of the year. Guest House Tavern's a top popular place.
I am doing happy hour with Jenny tonight at 6:30, and then we're going to a birthday party in Dike, Iowa. We're going to get there a little bit on the late side. You ever been to Dike?
That's Mark Woodley country there, right?
Yes. That's Woodley Tavern country.
I have been through there. I don't remember why.
AD the Dike.
I'm not. No, I couldn't even point to it on a map.
Okay, well, if you find Cedar Falls, just point to the left.
It's near New Hartford because that's those schools.
Yeah. True.
It can't be too far from Waterloo because he works in Waterloo.
Right. It's like 10 minutes from the Unidome.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like it's in the greater Cedar Falls metropolitan area.
What do they call it? The Cedar Valley, I think. It's in the Cedar Valley.
In the Cedar Valley?
Cedar Valley, up there in Josh
How
Pett's
far
country.
does that run? Like the length of the Cedar River? That's a big valley.
I'm not sure. I have trouble with geography. I just hope to not end up in Kansas City.
Well,
put it into the
if
phone.
you ended up in Kansas City when you were trying to go to Dike, big epic fail.
That could be taken out of context. High or low since the last show?
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Charter Retirement Planning and Tax. We are in their backyard right now. They're located up here in Ankeny. Tim Hawkins and company helping you get your finances in order, make sure your retirement portfolio is moving forward, and you are paying as little in taxes as you possibly can.
Yes,
all
please.
that kind of stuff. Check them out at wealthcharterretirement.com. I love it when, many of the sponsors that we've had here on our show, whether it was this show, the radio show, they go back well over a decade. And we've gotten to know them really, really well. We like them. We've
made some friends.
We have personal relationships with our sponsors. So when you hear good things about them, you feel good too. We feel good. You and I do. Andrew does. The other day I was eavesdropping. Let's put that out there. I was eavesdropping in the WHO 13 newsroom, and Ed Wilson was telling Brad Edwards a story. It was not a talk about weather.
I'm surprised.
He had he had been trying to get his car fixed, and he got a quote from some other place that was really expensive, and he thought, well, I will take it to get one other opinion, and he took it to this other place that gave him an estimate that was like half the price, much better, told him that some of the stuff that this other place said he needed done, he didn't actually need done. Ooh. So Ed was just over the moon about this, and I was like, which place are you talking about here that gave you the...
You just inserted yourself into the conversation.
Excuse
well,
me,
it's hard not to hear
listening.
Ed. He's got a booming voice.
Yeah, I was in the studio and stuff. But I was like, which place is this? He goes, your Heartland Tire and Auto guys in Waukee.
Nice.
He said Kelly, he went in there and they just totally shot him straight. And
good.
That makes you feel, you're still spending money.
Did he name drop Cade? I know Cade Murphy. I know he's in here once a week.
I don't think he did. He left that out of the story if he did, but there's Kelly right there. Yeah, but it made me feel good. I'm like, well, that's good, right? We got the right people with us right now. They're doing that stuff for people. So I got a charge out of that. I thought that was
nice.
really cool. I let our friend Travis Thompson know that he sold the business. Travis has. But he still really keeps tabs on it, and they ask him to help out all the time. The new owners ask him to help out all the time and giving him advice and that kind of stuff. So I passed that on. He's going to pass that on to Kelly, and I thought that was really cool. And I'm glad that our friend Ed got good service.
I'm going high as well. We had our Christmas dinner with Jenny's parents. The four of us go out to dinner somewhere. We went to Luca, which is downtown, and it's
It's in the East Village.
East Village, yeah, because we're East Siders now.
You are. You're East Villagers.
Yeah,
you're village people.
I have challenged Ross Peterson to a fight, like a public fight, maybe on East Side night at the fair. Now that we're East Siders.
How hard did he laugh at that?
Well, no, I think he's interested. So
he's ready to throw down.
It'd be like a Jake Paul type thing.
But what's the development you live in? The Bridge area, the Bridgeport?
Yeah,
what is
Bridge
that
District.
The Bridge District.
Yeah,
the Bridge District.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of that the other day.
Is that too cake eater-ish for?
It's those are very, very, very nice townhomes. Are beautiful. It's a really cool area. You did a good job picking that. I think Ross.
I think Ross is a little scared.
I do not think you would clear his bar for
we'll see.
East Side qualification.
We'll see. I know I'm late to the game. If you're listening, Ross Peterson, but let's do this. All right, so we're at Luca, which is a walking distance from. Although we took a car because it was -1, and only an idiot would be out in that. So Colin was out jogging. So we go to.
It was not -1.
The wind chill was -1.
Yeah, but the temperature wasn't.
Okay, so it feels like temperature.
Yeah, I know, but that's only if you're
not
in
a car.
That's only if you're in the wind, though.
I was in the wind. If you're walking,
but that's not the temperature. So what was the temperature like? 17, 21. Yeah, but it was windy.
It's a better story, Andy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it does.
Jeez.
Yeah,
all right, so we go to Luca, which is you've been there. It feels like you're in Europe or someplace. Feels like you're a little bit on
Luca
vacation.
is a fantastic
it's
restaurant.
a nice restaurant.
It's so good.
So we're walking in, and we've dropped Jenny's parents off, so they're already seated at the table, and we're walking by, and Jenny's like, "Oh, you should say hi to your friend." I look over, it's TJ Otzelberger eating
really?
dinner in there. Yeah, he's like, "This is my favorite restaurant," and we're talking. We're talking for a second, and for some reason, as I'm sitting there, I don't even just talk to TJ. It takes me a moment. He's like, Josh Jefferson. I'm like, oh, hey.
Oh, he was there too.
Yeah, so the two of them were sitting there just.
Who's making more money out of those two?
Ooh.
That's the thing. Years ago, that would have been an NCAA violation.
Oh, yeah. Now Josh picks up the tab.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic season.
He is.
Man, he is.
Well, but that's a prefix menu. What did Josh Jefferson get? 3 of them?
Well, but you have like 5 or 6 choices on each course.
Yeah, but you can make one choice, not all the choices. He can't look at the menu and say, okay.
One from each category.
Yeah, it's one for me. It's a prefix.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask, but he was. Gosh, they're both so nice. It was good to see them.
Yeah.
So that just made my night seeing TJ, who of course I like, in a random place like that, and just to see this coach who has this tremendous bond with these players, as we all know, and I'm sure it's moments like that, like you do with your kids. You try to find
Was it just
time.
The 2 of them?
Yeah, just the 2 of them.
Oh, really? Oh, that is cool. That's interesting.
I think we discovered how important it is, and I know I've told this to AD before, and I've said it on the air before, like to try to find times for your kids when it's just you and that one kid, that one-on-one time, like whether it's a fishing trip or, you go to a movie together, or you go somewhere, or you go down to Kansas City for a couple of days, and just the kids would love that. That's why I'd pull the kids out of school and surprise them with an iCubs game with the teacher's permission, but just one kid, and then they would think it's so cool. So I get on a different level how that is with relationships. If you're a coach, you have to not constantly have it be the whole group you're talking to, but just that one-on-one time, and away from the facility, away from practice, just sitting there at a table, that's bonding.
And I mean, here we have been laboring for all these years thinking that anybody that lives in Ames or Gilbert only goes to Hickory Park for dinner, right? So evidently that's not true.
I think TJ lives in Ankeny.
Oh, does he?
I think so.
That's Luca's not in Ankeny either.
Remember on RVTV when he came by and for the Super, instead of Iowa State coach, we
he
put
definitely
Ankeny
did
resident.
live in Ankeny. Yeah, I suppose he still does. I don't know why I was thinking Gilbert. That's Matt Campbell and Pollard. Those guys live
The
in
Super,
Gilbert.
by the way, is the identifying text on the bottom of the screen. So
it's right below you.
Superimposed.
Yeah, like here, Keith Murphy, Andy Fales.
The lower third Super.
TJ Otzelberger, Ankeny resident, and then famously, I think it was on KCCI, Brock Purdy, Iowa State student. Somebody was out doing an MOS and and there's nothing wrong with that. He was an Iowa State student, and they were just out asking opinions, and
I was on Channel 5 one time.
You were?
Yeah, that's my Super and everything. Yeah, my name up there.
When you worked there or after?
No, I was working here. I was working at 13. No, they interviewed me.
What were you asked?
Were you with me?
I don't think so.
We were.
This is great.
I was over at what's now the West End Tap. We were over there. Ryan Greening had an outdoor event.
Was it World Cup soccer?
Yeah, I think it was the World Cup.
I think it was. You guys did your show from there.
Yeah.
Now, they asked me who I want. They asked me about the Iowa State game. Maybe it was during the Iowa State game. Anyway, the Channel 5 reporter just came up and started talking and asked if she could interview me. And I said, sure. Why not? Yeah, absolutely. I want to be on TV.
That's great.
So I started talking to her, and she asked me who I wanted to win. I said I wanted it to be a tie. And then they interviewed me, and I did tell her. I just went along with it. And then I made it into her story.
You were in the story.
Yeah, and then I think their news director called Rod and was irate.
Really?
Yeah, they were mad.
They wanted a little courtesy disclaimer?
I think Rod was laughing at it. Rod was trying not to laugh at their news director, but he came up to me. He was like, yeah, they just, next time.
I appreciate a heads up.
Yeah, maybe just, let them know that after the interview's done and you've had a little fun, just let them know that you're, on TV somewhere else. And I didn't want to make a fool of the reporter or anything. I wasn't trying to do that. I truly didn't. Now, see, Rod's listening right now. He says, you're welcome. He had my back there. No, it was cool. That was funny.
That's great. Now, the most famous super text at the bottom, WHO 13, Chuck Bruce.
Oh, yeah. David Montgomery.
David Montgomery was identified as Chuck Bruce.
They were doing storm cleanup in Marshalltown.
Correct. Right? Yeah, the Cyclone football team was over there. And
they got his name wrong. Yeah.
But Chuck Bruce, he didn't say I'm Chuck Bruce or anything like that.
No. Well, yeah, the reporter didn't get his name wrong. I think the director mixed up the supers, right?
Yeah, the producer.
The producer did. Okay.
Yeah, and at one time, because I believe she works over at 8 now.
That could be any one of a number of our former producers.
Yeah, so, and she used to have in her, on Twitter, X, she used to have in her biography, I created Chuck Bruce.
Oh, good for her. Yeah, lean into it. Own it. Yeah.
And Chuck Bruce this took us a long time to figure out who it actually was. It was an elderly gentleman interviewed about, storm damage over in one of the north side of Des Moines or something.
So not Marshalltown.
It was not Marshalltown, no. So anyway, let's get the buzz here on a Friday
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
All right, Logier Heating and Cooling with solutions for Des Moines area
families.
They
were in my house again this week.
For 120 years, yeah.
They were. Yep. I have...
They were at my house for a while, so I'm glad they've moved on.
I got all new.
We're good now.
I got more insulation added to my house.
Nobody's going to notice that. Nobody's going to compliment you.
Well, hopefully we will. It'll be warmer, but
that'll be nice.
Yeah, nobody's going to be like, "Oh, I'll give you $10,000 more for your house."
looks well
your
insulated.
House, you could see how well insulated it is from all the way out here.
It does nothing for the curb appeal.
No, not at all.
No, that's true. What a game last night on Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football.
Jeez.
I don't know if you watched this. Colin and I watched it last night. Rams, Seahawks, two really good teams. Rams are the current Super Bowl favorites, or were before last night's result. So 38-37, Seahawks win in overtime. But it was 30-16 Rams midway through the fourth. And at that time, the possibility or the predictor of who's going to win was like 98% Rams. And then the Seahawks score 2 touchdowns and had to have one on a punt return and had to have 2 two-point conversions. And it looked like the game was over when one of the 2-point conversions failed. And that might be the craziest two-point
the first
conversion,
2-point conversion
that I've ever seen. And it's hard if you're not watching and you didn't see it. But basically,
Darnold throws parallel to the receiver.
And it hits a defender in the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ball just goes along to the ground. And then after a few seconds, a Seahawk just casually picks it up in the end zone and hands it to the official. Well, somebody notices the Darnold's really close to that ball going backwards, which then makes it a live football.
Right.
And they show the replays, and eventually they put like a line that would be parallel, and it looks like it might be an inch or two behind that line, which technically makes it a fumble, and then would make it a recovery for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, a live ball.
Yeah, live ball.
Point, right.
So that is what happened. That keeps them alive. Going to overtime, and Stafford, who may win the MVP, it certainly looked at last night, 457 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and he has a great pass and catch to Puka Nacua, who had like 250 yards receiving in the overtime, and he scores a touchdown. And it looks like the Rams are going to win, but
just runs right past everybody.
Oh, yeah, just hits
like
an
easy touchdown. Yep.
And then Darnold, who had been booed loudly in this game, threw a couple of picks, ugly picks. He marches them down the field. They decide to go for 2 after the touchdown catch. And Andy, former Drake Bulldog, for the 2-pointer to win. A Drake football player, non-scholarship football player.
Right, and it wasn't Billy Cundiff.
No, it was Eric Saubert. There he is, 2-pointer.
And that's fantastic. Love that. He's wide open there. Just a perfectly executed play. He goes up looking like he's going to engage the blocker, or he's as a blocker, and then he just kind of releases into the end zone underneath the other tight end. It's a thrilling game. All anybody's talking about is the previous 2-point conversion, right? What should happen there? Sean McVay is not happy about it, predictably. It's a really weird situation that certainly would not ever be possible without instant replay.
Right.
But I don't think it would be possible if it weren't. I mean, it's like the immediacy of instant replay, right? I mean, the guys on the sidelines, the guys in the booths, for each team can look at that and they can start chirping about it, right? I mean, it has to reach the ref. I mean, it almost doesn't reach the ref in time. They almost kick the ball off and move on.
It does have kind of an artificial feeling to it because nobody was pursuing the football.
Well, right.
Did they blow whistles on the field?
Nope, they didn't.
They didn't blow
it was live.
Okay.
No, it was live. And the refs kind of acted like it was live. I mean, you know how they do that, where they don't, it's not an Easter egg hunt where they're like, hey guys, might want to look at that football down there. That might still be live. They're not doing that. But at the same time, they're also not giving body language to move on either. It's like they have to sit there and not say anything. You know what I mean? Where they have to, okay, well, let's see if the players notice and let the ball be live. I don't know. Did they even know that was the situation at the time? Possibly. I guess if it's even close, they have to treat it like it might be a live ball situation.
It didn't seem, maybe the officials did. Certainly the players did not act like they had.
I mean, the official didn't run over there and pick it up, which, certainly would have changed the whole thing.
Yeah. I can see where
but
that
I
was.
don't know.
It shows you why, as a player, you pick up the ball in any circumstances. Because I mean, he was not picking that up thinking he was scoring a touchdown. But he just nonchalantly picked up the ball and said, hey.
And they say play to the whistle.
Yeah,
I mean, once
right.
the whistle's blown, I mean, it's blown. Right? Whether it should be or not, I mean, it's the play is over. But it hadn't been. And so I guess they're following the letter of the law. That's the way you're supposed to do it. It just seems like they had gotten so past that play and lined up for the kickoff and, said all that, like everything had moved on.
It's a big play.
And then they get together, and I think that's Sean McVay's big beef, is that it seemed like it was kind of regenerated. The play was, the review was, it was like they brought the defib pads out and shocked the play back to life.
It could ultimately decide the number 1 seed.
It's a huge game.
It's a huge result.
They're in the same
there,
division.
That game was just fantastic, and Sam Darnold and Matthew Stafford both made some big throws, and you could see progressions on the throws. And one of the things I've talked about is from the Seth Wickersham quarterback book that I read, just how complicated things are. But Kirk Cousins explains this week that now it's no longer just the pre-read, that now it's become the progressions. And listen to Cousins go here to Kirk's school on quarterback play. It's fascinating.
These defenses are just making it muddy until I'm 3 steps into my drop. So coaches started to realize, like, if we ask the quarterback to do that, it's going to be really hard because defenses know that's the game we're playing. They're not going to let us play it. So then it started to become, let's just give you pure progressions and let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that has its pros and cons. I remember when Kevin O'Connell was bringing a lot of pure progression reads back to him with me from LA back to Minnesota. It was like, whoa, like I got to get back to the dagger backside after already exhausting this progression. Like that's a lot. I mean, in my mind, like I'm used to kind of simplifying it and cutting the field in half. So, had to kind of work through that and get to where that was more natural. And then there's a lot of positives of it too, where you're not stressing as much during the week about what if I can't see coverage, because you say, well, it's okay, I don't have to see coverage. Seeing it can be a benefit, but it's more after the snap, where are they going, and I can just kind of progress through. But there's no doubt with the way the pass rush is, if you truly try to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to get sack fumbled a lot. So there's still a level of, it's pure progression, but like I got to rule him out pretty quick here so I can get to the backside because that guy's coming around the hump quick.
So, Kirk, you think the Falcons should go back to their red uniforms? I know. That press conference crowd was like,
what? It's a head explode. This is when you knew why the Cardinals were trying to get Kyler Murray off his video games. Because you've got to study this stuff night and day.
It sounds
the great
like they're
do.
An airline pilot, doesn't it? I mean, all of the...
It is.
Oh, my God. All the calculations these guys are making?
And there are guys that can do these calculations that... And I had some of this in high school where any math that went with baseball or statistics and sports, somehow I could figure that out. But I'd just be paralyzed in algebra class. I don't get this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just having to memorize all the plays.
Oh,
and
my
it's
gosh,
not just, it's like chapters of plays.
That's why they now wear like a phone book on their wrist. What was expected to be the typical, somewhat boring pre-bowl press conference over at Iowa got a jolt yesterday. LeVar Woods is leaving to join Pat Fitzgerald at Michigan State. He will be the assistant head coach and special teams coordinator there. And the assistant head coach at Iowa is Seth Wallace. So this is a little bit of a promotion. This is a guy who directly position coach George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson back when he's working with tight ends, but also consensus, if not unanimous, All-Americans like Keith Duncan, Cooper DeJean, Caden Weegan, Amir Smith-Marset, among others. So he's been very good on the job. And this is one, I think it's caught us all by surprise that he's going within the Big Ten Conference. His son plays at Iowa, just joined Iowa. I believe Pat Fitzgerald's son's at Iowa too, right?
He is for now.
He is for now.
Right.
Now, LeVar Woods said he thought his son was staying, LeVar's son, would stay at Iowa and that he would respect that.
Yeah, he's like a legitimately good recruit.
Yeah. Not a surprise. Dad played in the NFL for, 8 or 10 years. He was a really good player. But I think this is one of those moves where, you're maybe in some ways similar to Matt Campbell, where you might have felt like I've probably done about all I can do here with what's in front of him. So I think the question will become for some Hawkeye fans is, when Kirk Ferentz does retire, will this help LeVar Woods be a head coaching candidate to come back?
Yeah, I think that's the best way that you can look at this. His head is against the ceiling in Iowa, right? Kirk Ferentz isn't going anywhere.
Not anytime soon.
Phil Parker isn't going anywhere.
He's not the assistant head coach. That's Seth Wallace.
And even if he is the assistant head coach, does that give him significantly enough to do for him to stay at Iowa? Where if he goes to Michigan State and he's part of a rebuild there are a lot of people think that Michigan State is the team that made the best coaching hire in the offseason. That Pat Fitzgerald has a lot left in the tank. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He knows how to do a lot with a little. He knows how to win games in the Big Ten that it seemed like he had no business winning in the Big Ten.
He does. If I had any concern, if I was a Michigan State fan, it would be that Fitzgerald's last 2 years at Northwestern, they were terrible. And that was when the NIL era and transfer portal era was starting, but he was at Northwestern.
He's at Northwestern where he is on a curve at all times. You're getting some athletes that truly want a school like Northwestern, and in the Big Ten, there's nothing else even close. But then again, you are ruling out. Northwestern is not a place that's going to bend its admission rules to a crazy extent, where most of those other schools are just going to let you. It doesn't matter what kind of football. It doesn't matter what kind of student you are. If you're a great football player, they're going to let you in. Northwestern didn't do that. So, I think he's put himself in a position for growth, and maybe he just also is ready for a change of pace. And these guys, these assistant coaches. I think if they pass up a number of jobs a number of times, they certainly get pigeonholed as guys that just want to be assistants, and that's fine.
Yeah, Campbell was getting a little bit of that as he's not interested in leaving Iowa State.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Are you not interested in leaving your school, or you just don't want to be a head coach, or you don't want to progress toward becoming a head coach, that kind of stuff. And if that's what you want to do, and a good opportunity like that presents itself, then I think you take it.
Here's LeVar Woods on the why.
Norm Parker told us, and anybody that played linebacker at that time can attest to this. He said, if you ever want to know what it's like to be a man, watch Kirk Ferentz. And I've been watching Coach Ferentz ever since. I've been taking notes and I've been listening. I'll always be grateful for that trust that Coach showed to me, for the chance to grow here under Coach's leadership and the various roles he gave me. I've thought long and hard about this, prayed upon it, conversations as a family, made a decision to accept a new professional opportunity at Michigan State. This is not easy at all, if you can't tell. You don't walk away lightly from a program like this, a place like this, a locker room like this, players like this, coaches, a state that feels like family. It's not easy to do. But there comes a time when I feel called to stretch and grow and try to pursue a different opportunity, expand professionally, take on a new challenge, and I feel like that time is now.
I believe all of that, and I cannot imagine a guy leaving with more of the fan base, coaches, and everybody saying, good luck, thank you, appreciate you. He's going into another Big Ten school, and I don't think anybody's upset about this. AD, what do you think as a fan?
Yeah, it's too bad, right? Iowa fans know how many games they've won because of special teams over the years, and he's a huge factor in that. But yeah, I think a lot of fans are kind of hoping that maybe somebody along the way told him, hey, if you want to come back as the head coach someday, you need to go and get experience outside of this program, and maybe that's kind of the long-term gain, because I know a lot of Hawkeye fans have him kind of pegged as their number one guy when Kirk does step down.
And I think it does help his resume, even if it's just like an emotional resume for people looking at LeVar Woods. It makes you feel better about that hire when you're not just picking the next guy down, who's already in the system. You've got a guy that does have a little bit of experience outside, doing things a little bit differently. And it probably also is a way to help him be a more well-rounded coach, right? I mean, being on a completely different coaching staff. I mean, other than this, he's played and coached for Kirk Ferentz.
Andy, Jerry has a request. He's having trouble following this, and he would like to know if you have a National Geographic analogy.
Yeah, of course I do.
Help him understand.
So, right, I mean, so when you got the Pride Alliance, right, and then there's just the main male, the alpha male lion. He's the only one that can mate, and he won't. After a while, he can be the only like big male lion there with the pride. And the juvenile males, once they get too big, they got to go off on their own, right? They got to go sow their wild oats, even though they don't eat the oats. They got to go out there and make it on their own, and then sometimes they will come back and take over their old pride. Now, with lions, that's ugly when that happens, and I don't think that would happen with LeVar Woods. But
no,
we're just talking, theoretically here.
That is very well done.
Yeah, it actually made a lot of sense.
Yeah, that was
unlike the wolf one.
I think it made more sense.
The wolf one makes perfect sense.
I think it made more sense actually. We're at Boulder Tap here in Ankeny. People around us are enjoying lunch. Colin, how was your grilled chicken? It was great. Okay, he said it was great.
Already?
He
didn't
did
even see it get served. All right, that was fast.
I don't know why I didn't put this together. It didn't come with a bun, did it? It was just in like a salad. Okay. A dressing or no dressing? You had some dressing.
I was looking at a list of all the foods that people over the age of 100 don't eat, that you're supposed to get rid of, and you're like clear out of your diet if you want to live to be over 100.
Like the Dick Van Dyke diet?
No, well, I guess you could call it that, but white bread was number one, like super processed flour. Red meat was number two. And then a whole bunch of other things that I am not willing to give up. I would rather die before 100.
I want to enjoy. I want to live.
Like processed meats, the processed, like prepackaged foods. Like, who doesn't like a little of that from time to time?
Oh, yeah.
Dairy was another one. I was like, all right, I'm out.
We had something yesterday called, Jenny bought it for Colin or me. I don't know. It was a protein donut, and it was not good. Some
things
things
come up with a more appetizing title,
like Oreo,
a protein donut.
Oreo's about to release sugar-free Oreos. No, don't do it. I mean, either eat an Oreo or don't eat an Oreo. But who wants a sugar-free Oreo?
I think that may be for people that are they're
going after the diabetic market.
Can diabetics eat like stevia and stuff? I guess I don't know. I suppose they could. It doesn't have sugar in it.
I don't want to get in the way of anybody enjoying his or her life.
Right, exactly. You're diabetic and you still want to taste an Oreo.
This protein donut tasted like if you went up to the chalkboard and just grabbed a piece of chalk.
It was just like a whey protein donut.
Yeah, and it was really heavy and thick. Colin said it was okay.
That sounds terrible.
He ate it, but what the heck. All right, so the college football playoff begins tonight. We have a quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale.
Which CFP game this weekend excites you most? Bama against Oklahoma, Miami against Texas A&M, Tulane and Ole Miss, or James Madison and Oregon?
Well, the number one thing I like about these four games is they are on college campuses like they should be. So great. More of this, please, not less. I'm kind of with the popular vote here so far. Bama, Oklahoma. I think some of this is just branding, but it is also an interesting matchup.
I mean, technically it shouldn't be because it's a conference game, but
it is now. It doesn't feel like it should be.
Which is what's fun about the playoffs is you potentially get to see teams that haven't met. We're not going to meet otherwise. They meet here, like Miami A&M. I mean that should be the strong number two here. But Bama, Oklahoma. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that feel like I do, and they just like the idea of at least one of these teams being eliminated. They don't want to have to go through the whole playoff with both Oklahoma and Alabama in it.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, you think I think of them as evenly matched. So really the foundation of a good game.
But don't you think that Tulane Ole Miss? There's part of me that likes that Tulane and James Madison are in, and then there's part of me it's like I would much rather see Notre Dame at Oregon.
Yeah, we could
tomorrow.
do with one of them, one of Tulane or James Madison. They don't both need to be in. We don't need to
nobody
throw,
thinks
we don't need to
either
throw
of those
two
teams.
bones.
Yeah, nobody thinks either of those teams is beating Notre Dame.
No.
And I mean, and then Ole Miss doesn't have its head coach, so it's really.
But if they win, he gets a bonus.
Yeah, from LSU.
Each time he wins, he gets a bonus.
I think that
that's so stupid.
You know, the first round is going to have this kind of stuff. I mean, you're going to have to get fat trimmed.
Okay, Andy.
But it's interesting. I mean, how cool is that though that James Madison is in this? I mean, that
it is cool. It is cool. This is a big moment for you.
Oh, he's pulling out the billfold.
All right, I got a crisp.
You got a hundy?
That's a Benjamin.
I got a crisp $100 bill. If you can tell me what bowl game is already finished today.
Okay, you realize that I just had a list of these on Wednesday in front of me. I had the whole list, and we played that whole game. And I wrote out a game for you guys, looking at each bowl game that was being played, and I was picking out the ones with the weirdest names. So I just looked at this. All right, you realize that.
I have a crisp $100 bill here for you.
Okay, you cut me off mid-sentence. All that established, I still cannot tell you what game has been played today.
God, I got to pay for Colin's meal. And if the show goes long enough, he will order again.
There was one that you guys guessed wrong the other day that was actually going on during the show.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
The Myrtle Beach Bowl
is
already done today.
Is that in? I'm going to guess that's in Myrtle Beach.
Don't be sure because the Bahamas Bowl was not in the Bahamas.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a promotion for going to the Bahamas. Hey,
really?
Can you fact check where the Myrtle Beach Bowl is?
Where's Myrtle Beach? South Carolina?
It is.
That South Carolina?
Yeah, it's a golfing beach, but mostly dudes go there to golf. And they're, most of the time their wives go shop or go
The Myrtle Beach Bowl is at Brooks Stadium in Conway, South Carolina at Coastal Carolina University, which is apparently in the Myrtle Beach metropolitan area.
Yes, that's kind of there. Okay. So, University of Texas at San Antonio, Andy, the nickname?
Utsa.
Roadrunners. They play FIU in the First Responders Bowl the day after Christmas. The Roadrunners will be without 10 to 20 players for the bowl. And listen to head coach Jeff Traylor.
We'll be a shell of ourselves, but whoever we got out there, we're going to go out there and play the best we can. It's just the numbers so big, and with all the tampering, all the agents, it's coaches too, it's all of them. Our kids are being numbered they're being promised such incredible numbers. They're getting lured into the portal. I just hope all the things those coaches and agents are promising they're going to do for my kids. I really hope so. I mean, I hate it because I really want to coach them in a bowl game, but they're getting leveraged out of it. Their agents are telling them if they got to not play in the bowl and they'll get this number, they don't play in the bowl, so it's ridiculous. I hate what's going on with college football.
Yeah, he's just saying the quiet part out loud there that agents are immediately in the ears of all these players saying, get out of the bowl, get into the portal, let it know, let me start negotiating, and there are big numbers involved. So he's saying we'll go do the best we can, but we're going to be missing 10 to 20 of our best players for a bowl game.
Yeah, and this is the reality of it, and the other stuff where we have teams like Iowa that are going to get a strong showing in their current roster. That's the exception to the rule.
It's increasingly rare,
and people want to tell you that this is not the case, right? That this isn't going on, but we know it is. Because why do we know that this is going on? Because it makes sense. I mean, just lay it out. What would you do if you were in that position?
Right.
Would you, if you truly can put yourself in that position and imagine yourself doing this, well, then you know that all of these impressionable guys with agents buzzing all around them are going to be even more likely to do something like that. I mean, it's their future. It's a very short window of opportunity. And honestly, I mean, just having that break at the end of the season between that and the bowl game, I mean, that's an eternity for these guys. That's a really long time, and they mentally move up. They've already started moving on.
And as an Iowa fan, as much as I'm glad our players are playing in the bowl game, I hope our staff is out there right now looking at guys at UTSA and other schools while it's legal to bring them in once the transfer portal opens, because schools like Iowa need to bolster their roster in this time period.
And thank you, AD, for mentioning something that gets lost just because it's so preposterous. The portal's not open.
Not till January.
The portal opens January 2nd, but you would think that it's open. This guy just lost 10 to 20 of his players, and unlike Iowa State can have players in the portal right now because their coach left.
Yeah,
they have 15 days.
They don't need to. The portal doesn't need to be open for them to say they're not coming back.
No. Who's in charge of college football right now?
Good question.
PJ Fleck leaves no doubt. He just puts it out there. The players, and he doesn't sound resentful about it, but he says the players have all the leverage and power.
Everybody has representation now, right? So I think they have representation to put them in the best position. They're hiring them to put them in the best position, and then give them as much money as they possibly can, or get them as much money as they possibly can. But I said earlier, I talked about the value system. Like, what do you really value? Is it just the highest dollar? Is it the right position for your future? Is this an environment that you value versus extra dollars? Are we the highest bidder? Maybe we are. But I think it's all got to fit together. It's all got to come together. It's the best example I give, and you've covered the Vikings forever, right? And it's the roles we're in is like you're the head coach, you're the president, you're the owner, you're the GM, you're the director of player personnel, right? And you've almost got to be a negotiator as well of what you have in your budget. And you're doing that without the systems that the NFL has in place.
That's right. The systems are not there. And Andy, just to hear him say, are we the highest bidder? This used to happen under the table. Well, now it's just out there.
Yeah, it makes you think. I mean, if you're a team that's preparing for a bowl game, you've got to have part of your staff dedicated to trying to keep the players that you've already got, but then also another part of the staff, or maybe it's the same part, also thinking about players that you might be looking to add. And then somebody from your staff has to be coordinating with the collective to find out how much money you've got to keep the players you might want to keep and add the players that you might want to add. All the while, your coaching staff prepares for a bowl game.
It's nuts. And one of the things that drives me nuts is the announcement now of re-signings. Even when a coach doesn't leave, like I know there are Cyclone fans that want to know if Rocco Becht is returning, for example. But AD, as a Hawkeye fan, do you want to hear that? Who's in
TJ Washington went to the portal today.
Okay.
Or announced that he will go into the portal.
But yeah, because the portal's not open. Remember.
Right.
I mean, is there an underclassman at Iowa right now that you would be relieved if Iowa announced, "Hey, we re-signed him"?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bunch of them. Yeah.
So you do want these re-signing?
No,
notices.
I don't want that to happen. But it would be nice to kind of know, hey, don't worry about it.
Of course, I want to hear. Of course, I would want to hear that they're re-signing.
But re-signed. It sounds like a professional employee.
Well, right. I mean, the principle of it, I hate.
We re-signed him.
Yeah.
But
in the middle of the school year.
Well, it seems like that's one person that your coaching staff doesn't have to worry about retaining. They already got them on their hip.
Hey, Colin, well, we go to this next topic here. Will you look up the Iowa-UConn women's basketball line for me tomorrow? I know you're a degenerate gambler. So Iowa, number 11, one loss to a really good Iowa State team, played the Cyclones tough in Ames. At UConn, UConn is the defending national champion and maybe even better this year. Just blew USC away. This game is at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. What AD, as a Hawkeye fan here, what's a win for you other than an actual win?
If you keep it to single digits, you feel very good. I don't expect that to happen. I think if it's 15 points or so, you still feel pretty good. Avoid the 30-point blowout that everybody else is suffering at the hands of UConn. Get out of there without injury. But yeah, if Iowa keeps this to single digits, it's a moral victory for sure.
Single digits would stun me. I expect this to be 20 points. I mean, and that's just how good UConn is. And Jan Jensen talked about this. She's like five-star McDonald's All-Americans on the court, and they've got 5 more coming off the bench.
Have you had to remind yourself that Paige Beckers was on that team last year?
I know.
Because the WBA season just starts immediately.
This is why people lose me completely when they say, well, you know, if Caitlin Clark was that good, she would have won a championship. Getting Iowa to 2 championship games is one of the most underrated things an athlete has ever done in this state. It's just incredible. I mean, she was not out there with this UConn team.
Just one was
back to back. It was nuts. Colin, you get a line?
Yeah, I'm not seeing
no
a line yet.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, go ahead and get yourself another grilled chicken. Thank you for trying. Interact on YouTube, on X. It is Murph_Andy. The email is Murph_Andy@iowaeverywhere.com. It's all powered by Cellular Advantage. They're powering us up right now. We're doing well. 35 regional locations. I'm sure there's several in this area.
There's probably a couple under construction as well.
Yeah. Proud partner with U.S. Cellular since 1993. Also now aligned with T-Mobile. It is time to find out what's bugging you.
Hi, I'm Tom Coates. If what's bugging you is your credit card debt, please call us at Consumer Credit of Des Moines. Since 1987, we've helped over 100,000 people, and we can help you.
Hey, this is DA in Carlisle, and what's bugging me is the quickly melting snow and my quickly rising shame. You see, I planned to deal with all the leaves in my yard the week of Thanksgiving, and then it snowed, and it covered all the leaves, and so I thought, well, I'll just wait till the spring and deal with them then, but now every day a little more snow melts, and my yard looks a little bit worse. And so now I either have to go out and deal with the leaves in the middle of the winter, or I have to avoid the dirty looks my neighbors give me until it snows again in January. So I really need some more snow. What the crap, Ed?
So that sounds like a guy really frustrated by leaves.
That's tough. That's a tough spot to be in.
Andrew, you sound really upset. I'm sorry. You sound really empathetic with this guy.
Yeah. No, I feel DA's pain.
Yeah,
I do. I do.
DA's pain.
DA is having a rough go.
What's bugging you? It's speakpipe.com/Murph_Andy.
See, this guy said, hey, I tried Andy's method of letting those bastards dry out, and now I'm screwed.
Oh, Andy, some people are upset.
That snow just hit so early that if you didn't, my leaves or DA's leaves, I was told DA's leaves fall late. And he was going to deal with them the week of Thanksgiving, and then they all got covered in snow. It was like, oh, cool, I don't have to worry about it. And now in the late December, your yard looks like trash. You look like somebody who was too lazy to deal with it in the fall.
Honestly, you could probably get back out there and get the rest of them up next week. I mean, it's supposed to be warm and totally dry.
DA's going to have to. I feel bad for him. That sucks. DA doesn't want to do that the week of Christmas. He doesn't want to be out in the yard. Leaves.
I tried to get my tractor out there during the Iowa-Nebraska game to do leaves. It was too cold. It wouldn't start.
Oh, man.
And I'm too scared to call Jeff at P&P and tell him that my mower won't start because he'll make fun of me. But so I had to do it with the push mower. Yeah, the leaves are just good. The leaves that are there now, they are staying there until spring.
Hey, Colin, could you come here for just a second, please? That's my son, Colin. He's coming by the restaurant. Yeah, if you could just come right here, Colin.
Get another drink.
Would you give me a refill, please? Thanks, Colin. Good to see you. Time for throwdowns.
1 second. Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
I love you, Colin.
Good work. That's good dadding right there. I appreciate that. It is time for Throwdowns, powered by Heartland Tire and Auto, treating you like family at all of their locations. We appreciate their support. All right, let's pull this up here. College Football Report put out this image. It's the best college football team in each state. And as you can see on this graphic, they've got the Hawkeyes for Iowa, despite the Cyclones winning head-to-head. Murph, is this graphic wrong?
I think Iowa ended the season having had a better overall football season than the Cyclones. I know they won the head-to-head, so you're not going to make any, or almost any Cyclone fan believe that this graphic should be the Hawkeyes. But Iowa State had a 4-game losing streak and had an awful loss to Colorado. That's a bad loss. Iowa lost 4 games by a combined 15 points, and all 4 teams were ranked, and a couple of them were in the top 10, and one of them is the number 1 team in the nation. They held on the ropes. So I think Iowa overall had a better season, but this kind of goes back to the argument of Miami, Notre Dame. Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head by 3, but Notre Dame feels like it went on to have a better season.
This is team, not program. It said team.
This is team, right?
I mean, I think the problem is the voters are probably voting program, not individual season. I don't know, man. It's really close. I don't think I can definitively say that Iowa had a better season than Iowa State. I mean, the Iowa beat 3 of its 4 rivals. Iowa State beat all of its rivals, its main rivals.
Main rivals being Iowa, Kansas State.
Kansas, I think, would be the other one.
Okay, yeah, that's not the same level.
They didn't beat them the same way that, Wisconsin was terrible this year. Minnesota really wasn't very good. Nebraska really wasn't very good. I mean, they had good enough seeds there in the bowl. They're going to bowls, I think, if they play. I don't know. It's close. And they won the head-to-head matchup. I mean, there's no way you're going to get everybody on that. It's very, very close.
I'd be disappointed if a Cyclone fan didn't think the answer should be Iowa State. They both had 8-4 records.
Yeah. It's and one beat the other one.
One beat the other one head-to-head.
That's the thing. Yeah, a program, it's still Iowa. Team this year, I think I could make an argument that Iowa State was a better team this year.
Well, that's good for the show.
Or that they had a
balance.
that they were the better team this year. Yeah.
All right, Andy, you can only watch one football game tomorrow. You got Miami A&M, Tulane Ole Miss, JMU at Oregon. But then you also have the Eagles at the Commanders and the Packers at the Bears. Which game do you watch?
Packers or Bears?
Same, Packers and Bears.
All right, Murph, we are here at the Boulder Tap House. What's your go-to order when it comes to, bar food?
I like boneless wings, which Andy calls chicken nuggets. Mm-hmm. I like nachos with jalapenos, cheese, and all that. But if I'm getting a sandwich, it's almost always a hamburger and fries.
You usually get a turkey sandwich.
If they have a good turkey sandwich option, especially if it's a Rachel, which has sauerkraut and cheese on it, that's the pick. But that not all. I don't know if they have that. He
gets a burger. Takes the top bun off, eats it with a knife and fork. Right?
I do that a lot.
That's really just a hamburger steak.
Yeah, but with you gotta have the underbun. You have to have some bun, but not so much bun that you don't taste the burger. I had a steak last night.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What kind of steak was it?
New York strip.
Where was? Oh yeah, look at that. That's one of the options on that menu. Yeah, that's really good steak. God, that's good steak.
Yeah, the sausage spaghetti.
What is the question right now again?
What do you get for bar food?
Bar food. You know how I feel about public nachos. I'm against them.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. They
don't work. They don't work.
I don't think about that, but I get what you're saying. You get it's almost like constant double dipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a race to get the chips while they're not soggy, and then it all seizes up, and you end up taking one chip and all the cheese with it. I would say probably chicken wings, like real chicken wings, not the chicken breast nuggets that Murph gets, which is what those are.
Those are good though. You get those with mango habanero.
Yeah, but you know that those are just chicken nuggets. You know they are. I want you to acknowledge
it's got more chicken. More chicken.
It's got, yep.
You like the flats or the wings?
The flats or the drummies?
Flats or drummies, yeah, sorry. Flats or wings.
I don't know, man. I can go back and forth. I made some for Eddie last night. I kind of like the flats. You like it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a flat guy.
Yeah, I like the flats.
I don't like eating anything on the bone.
You don't like the bones.
Yeah. All right, that's Throwdowns.
Nicely done. Confluence is the official beer of the Murph and Andy show. Confluence is where good things come together. And Andy, why no Confluence? What are you doing?
Well, I hadn't looked up at the taps yet. I should have one.
Yeah.
I definitely should get a confluence.
I was just.
I will get one immediately when I'm finished.
Okay, good. Ready or not, it's time for Scott School.
There he is.
Scott School is cool.
Yeah.
Scott School.
All right, get your mic on there.
Hello, everyone.
There you go.
Welcome to Scott School. On sailboats.
Quite a start here in December.
On sailboats, ropes are called sheets. And when you're sailing, if one rope goes awry and goes dangling, you can sort of control the boat. If two go, you're a little bit more wobbly. If three ropes go, you are unstable. You are very much in trouble. And that's why, if you're drunk and you're three sheets to the wind, people say that to you. And that's Scott School! Thank you.
Strong finish.
I have wondered about that before. What is this?
Presented by Carbless, everybody. We had a very carbless Christmas, Mackenzie and I did, over at the Simon's Bar.
Why were you sitting on top of her? I watched the show. What is going on? Why,
Did you notice, because when we would go to a two-shot with your son in it, if we weren't, half of our faces were cut off. If we were together, you'd go in, Cade could get half the screen, both of us were still on. Unlike you guys who look like you're scared you're going to give each other COVID today.
but you, like, we could be closer together.
I'm here.
Scott, you could have a little bit of separation. You did not leave room for the Holy Spirit.
No, we didn't. And also, we were in this corner booth that was curved. So, like, we were just like, and I sent an apology letter to Jeff.
That's Mackenzie's husband.
Mackenzie's husband is very big and strong. And so I just wanted him to know that it was due to the architecture of the booth.
It's for the good of the show.
You're damn right it was.
All right.
And a damn good show it was. And Travis from Carbless gave me some gear to hand out to folks, so I've been giving it out to some people around here. And thank you very much, Carbless. You're awesome. Also, the drinks are delicious.
Yeah, I am a Carbless fan.
Yeah, doesn't give you a tummy ache.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Stupid Quickie poll, also from the mind of Scott Siepker, and this won't surprise you, not sponsored by anyone.
Have you completed your Christmas shopping for the most important person in your life? Yes, they are bought and wrapped. Yes, the presents are bought but not wrapped. Yes, but I'm waiting on delivery, or no?
Yes, but waiting on delivery.
Ooh, that's tough. That's
dangerous. Weighing those boxes that come to the door from here on out. I'm bought, but not wrapped. And, I keep hoping that there will be like a wrapping elf that comes into my life at some point.
I wouldn't wait for that.
Like the elves in The Shoemaker, where the shoemaker would just put the leather out the night before, go to bed, wake up in the morning, the shoes are already made.
Yeah.
I would love that sort of intervention in my life, because I am an embarrassing rapper. I'm embarrassed about my rapping skills.
I've heard your rhyming schemes.
Rapping.
Oh,
the tape, the scissors,
wow.
all that stuff.
Did you notice
Terrible.
when I dropped that joke, the whole place went quiet?
Yeah,
that was awkward.
It was bad.
I used to wrap my wrap all the presents in a brown grocery sack
and just like put
staple
duct tape on it. Staple.
I had a stapler, and then I would stick one of those bows on there, and then that was it. Which I thought was genius, because you're not spending money on wrapping paper.
Yeah.
No one else got any appreciation for that. It never went over well.
I'm not a good rapper either, and it like I always, there's like a big clump and I'm pushing it down.
The edges of it?
Yeah. And Jenny worked at a gift wrapping store at Valley West Mall or something.
Like at Von Mauer, where those women are like incredible at rapping.
Yeah,
oh my God.
So her rapping is incredible, and mine is awful. So I've gotten to more of the Santa approach, where the presents are just unwrapped or in a bag.
It's...
Oh,
there you go.
Or you hide them. They're like a real
good luck.
Real witty way.
You just tape the gift receipt on the outside of it. Here you go.
Here you go. All right. So Scott, I held this sports topic for you here.
Boy, all right. Pelicans beat the Rockets last night.
No
Is that
one
what you're
cares.
gonna- Okay.
All right, so Colin is going to watch this tonight. Unlike Jake Paul fighting these people 20 years past their prime, I mean, Anthony Joshua is taller, 50 pounds heavier, stronger. Shouldn't he
An
kill
Olympic
Jake Paul?
champion. He has fought
Yeah.
all the biggest, best
He's
guys.
a gold
hardest
medalist.
What I'm guessing is going to happen here, and I'm really scared for Jake Paul because he could die. Like, that's totally on the table here.
Okay, now you have me watching.
Yeah, no, he really could die. I'm not joking. Is that he being the smaller guy, if I'm him, all I'm trying to do is survive as many rounds as possible. And since he's smaller, he's quicker, he'll be able to get out of the way. So I imagine the first couple rounds, he's just going to be avoiding punches as best as possible. And Anthony Joshua is a giant.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit, he's fast for a giant, but I think Jake will last a round or two. I do think he'll get out of the first round.
Other than the $265 million or whatever it is that somehow Jake Paul is going to make, I just can't understand that figure. But other than that, he's kind of in a can't-lose situation because if he somehow wins or goes the distance, I'm going to feel like the fix is in. The
There's
script is
only
in.
one way he can lose, if he dies. And that is possible. If this actually goes on, if this happens, because I'm still in my brain
He's just going to
thinking,
tie him up a whole bunch and.
He's going to try, but it's Anthony Joshua.
He's so much bigger.
He's a great boxer. He's a great boxer.
He's what, 36 years old?
Yeah, he gets a little bit like
pretty old, man.
Ruiz when he lost the title the first. Like, he sometimes can get into scraps and maybe his ego gets involved and he's like, I'm going to stand and trade with these guys. If he just boxes, he will knock Jake Paul the F out. That will happen.
I mean, this is not Mike Tyson at age 60.
No. And Mike Tyson, I'm not sure, was trying to kill Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua, if he decides to, could knock this guy's head off. And so that's why I don't care if Jake Paul gets knocked out in the first round, my respect is already going to grow just if that opening bell actually goes and we see that this is a real fight. This is not them having a sort of hand-holding or slap on the back agreement like, hey, you know what, we're just going to be advanced sparring.
How hot are you right now with the hoodie, the jacket,
Very
the
hot.
hat?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm sweating? I'm gonna keep this up.
Oh my God.
It's winter.
Yeah.
We're not even to the winter solstice yet. My gosh.
We're at the Boulder
Thank you for
Tap House
noticing.
in Ankeny. Good. Looks like a really good place to watch sports. There are nice big monitors everywhere. And it's bowl season, so come on by here if you can. Couple of things. The Iowa Nice Guy, another big week. Your videos are everywhere. It's kind of hard to get away from them. I mean, you find them on every platform. They're being shared all over the place. Your two big takes this week that I think got the most traction were Diego Pavia's behavior after losing the Heisman and what a mess Michigan athletics is.
Yeah, and shout out to Nick Ronkowski because he's a Missouri fan. He graduated from Missouri. He's much more plugged into the SEC than I am, and he hates Nashville. Nashville is his number one hated city in America, probably the world. So I sent him a message on Sunday, and I said, hey, could you do a total takedown of Diego? He's like, yeah. And what he wrote was, I didn't change a word of it. It was so good. And I love all those words were so fun to say. So shout out to Nick. And then, Michigan is what happened there was Sharon Moore post getting fired has totally distracted from the fact that Michigan, there's something fishy going on here.
The timing is curious.
And I haven't seen a lot of people talk about the rule change that happened in October, where before in October, if a coach got fired, student athletes let's just call them players, could transfer immediately the next day. Now, they can't until after there's been a new hire or the announcement of the hire.
And it's a 5-day window after the announcement.
And that is an incredible little nugget that I don't feel like is getting enough attention. And also James Madison, I posted the video today. James Madison the man would be really pissed that the nickname of his school is the Dukes. The man fought his entire career against aristocracy. Damn it, what's the word?
Aristotle? Autocracy?
No, aristocratic titles. Thank you.
Aristocracy.
And yes, thank you. And they call the Dukes, the name of the nickname of the mascot is the Duke Dog. The Duke Dog's wearing a crown. How can we have this?
Let's
this is
get
the
some
father
more.
of the United States Constitution.
Wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
All right, Andy, I'll admit I went one too many. I let that go a little too long.
A beat too long?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you got to know when to pivot, and I let it go.
Yeah.
And Scott started, his confidence was building, and then came the James Madison anecdote.
Everybody's waiting on more, too. Brought to you by Either Or Eatery and Patio. That patio might it might open up next
Today?
week. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the Des Moines golf courses may open next week. Did you see that?
You're not
Ben Page
kidding.
talking about it. I'm not
Merry
kidding.
Christmas.
Wow.
Everybody's home. Talking about it getting a 60-degree day next week. Holy smokes. All that kind of good stuff going on there. 6222 Grand Avenue is where you will find Either Or, also called Tinsel at this time of the year. It's a Christmas pop-up theme. Today is National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. Now that's a piece of ironic humor that had about 15 minutes of authenticity before it was ruined by people intentionally buying the ugly sweaters.
Yeah, I've got an ugly one I plan to wear tonight.
Well, and they're not ugly. They're like made to be ugly. Like you can go to Walmart across the street here right now and just get an ugly Christmas sweater that's intentionally ugly. Like
there's some irony there.
What you're supposed to do is go into your own, like your parents' closet or something, and find a Christmas sweater that they thought was really, really neato.
Yeah.
Back in the days.
This is like a kind of a fake dive bar, a dive bar designed to look like a dive bar.
Intentionally, trying to look like a dive bar, something like that. It's like the jeans that the destroyed jeans that you buy that are already wrecked, that kind of stuff. 515 Brewing in Clive is closing this weekend. We broke that story when it first came out here on More, that they were going to close at the end of this year. Well, if you like 515 Brewing, it's a really good brewery.
They have good beer.
It is. John Martin at Confluence will tell you that. I mean, really good beer. They won a lot of awards, and if you like that beer, you got 2 more chances to go and get it, today and tomorrow. That's it. They're done. Finished. Let's aside from that, though, This is good. This is good news. This is really kind of shocking. So last year, Barnes & Noble. We all know Barnes & Noble, the bookstore.
I've been so many times.
So many times, yeah. Last year, Barnes & Noble opened 24 new stores nationwide. Now that is more than they opened in the entire decade spanning 2009 to 2019.
I'm really happy to hear this. I'm surprised, though. What's behind it? Because we need more people reading.
Well, stay tuned. This year, they opened 58 new stores. 58 new stores this year. 24 new stores last year. Was that 82 new stores in 2 years? That's incredible. For a retail medium that really was the first one to be eaten up by Amazon, because I think Amazon started as a bookseller.
It is. That's all they sold.
Yeah. I mean, we had, what was the other one that we had? The other big, Borders and B. Dalton.
Yeah, those two didn't make it.
They long
I don't
gone.
think.
Yeah, no, they're gone.
They didn't make it here.
But Barnes & Noble in 2019, they were acquired by Elliott Management. That's a private equity firm who placed under the leadership, as its new leader, a man named James Daunt, who was a Brit. He was a British guy, a British bookseller.
Hello, Governor.
James Daunt, there you go. Yeah, he came in and he empowered local store managers to curate their selections based on their communities. So it didn't just say, okay, this is a Barnes & Noble, you need to look like this and you need to sell this stuff. He said, nope, we're going to make, first of all, put a really good manager in place and tell that person to, you do you. You're from the community.
Make it local.
You make it local. It's a national bookseller, but you make it local. You pick the books that we're going to sell. You lay out the store you want to do it, the way you want to do it. decorate the store the way you want to do it. You bring in local authors, do their kind of stuff. He made it much more local.
This makes sense.
That shift helped lead to a remarkable turnaround with renewed customer interest, growing sales, return to store expansion. Also credited is the book talk trend, a massive, influential TikTok community where readers and authors share short videos about books, driving viral trends. Influencers, book influencers have become a big thing. And then people that join in say, okay, if you like this book, you will like this book next. And that has spurred book sales nationwide. I mean, you would think that most of them would still just go to Amazon to buy that stuff, or buy it online. But no, some of these influencers go to Barnes & Noble, they speak, they make it, they brought the personal connection back. Good for them.
That's great. That's good. And this is also a template, and we do see other businesses doing this. Even if you are part of a big company, localize.
Yeah,
find the local connection.
And there is still something valuable about a tangible item, like something that's actually in front of you, like clothes.
Yeah. You want to hold a golf club before you
hold
buy
a golf club. You want to clearly see the car and feel like how you fit in the car. But even like the clothes, you want to touch the material and try it on and that kind of stuff. And you cannot do that online. Why it's still just worth sometimes just going in there and buying stuff from the brick and mortar. It's great.
I think we're seeing this also in the algorithms on social media, is that it's not anymore about the quantity of your views or your followers. It's about the quality, that depth of them. You might have, if you only have 100 followers, if they are all really, really tightly knitted to you, that's so much more valuable than having 1,000 sort of passerbyers.
Yeah. In our world, it's the difference between someone listening to 5 minutes of a show and somebody listening to an hour and 15 minutes of the show on average. Like staying with it, loyal.
Yeah, personal relationships too. You know those people, you know what they think, and you think the same way. It's a good time to buy a Christmas tree right now, I'll tell you. Their price is down more than 50%. They spike the weekend after Thanksgiving, and now Costco, thanks to Sue in West Des Moines, has trees for $13.
Wow.
Look at that. and quite a few of them, I will add. You can really take your pick of the Fraser fir.
Could you build a new deck with those?
At the Costco in West Des Moines.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Jeez.
Okay, I am a person who
problem is you only get a week's worth of use out of it.
That's the thing. I did not get a tree this year.
What?
I know. Well, and I'm the only one there now, not to be sad, but it's
It'd be you and the tree.
Yeah, but then I'm gone for the weekends. Like I'm going to Mount Carmel tomorrow. It's like I'm not going to be there all that much. So do I want to go through the rigmarole of actually putting up all the Christmas decorations? I put the lights up outside for the neighborhood, but is now the time? Do I want to go spend $15 on a tree? I kind of like, no.
Well, if there was a time, it would be now because they're
$15.
$15, yeah, right. We wouldn't be wasting any money. Meanwhile, last Sunday at church, the Christmas pageant was going well until the shepherds started fighting.
I had to go grab one of those shepherds.
Jeez.
Get the flock out of there.
You give a kid a stick, boy.
Those kids are going to be successful.
They're going to make a sword out of it every single time.
I'm guessing that was more realistic, too.
Breaking news today from the Moore team. The Home Alone house has sold again. What is that, Winnetka, Illinois? One of those, the wealthier North Shore suburbs. I think it's Winnetka. It sold for $5.5 million. When's the last time you guys saw the Home Alone home? I mean, it has been massively renovated.
Inside?
Yeah, inside.
I've never seen it in person, but I think I've only seen exterior shots of it.
The basement apparently is just incredible. It's this massive, I think they might have like a bowling alley or something down there. It's this gigantic basement. But they renovated the entire inside of the house. Didn't look anything like the movie. Well, these new buyers paid $5.5 million for a house that's been newly renovated and is absolutely beautiful. And you know what they're going to do?
They're going to turn it into the movie house.
They're going to move it back. They're going to unrenovate.
They're going to put that mean furnace back in that bowling alley.
I don't know if they're going to do that in the basement, but they're going to.
The wallpaper's going back up.
The wallpaper, all the 80s curtains and stuff. They're putting all that stuff back up there. Bring that little Sony Trinitron 10-inch TV back into the kitchen with that tile countertop.
Let a tarantula loose.
That's what the Field of Dreams house inside is basically the movie set.
Good. Well, this isn't open to the public. It's a private residence, so they're.
Oh, I just assumed if they're doing all this, they're going to change it to.
No, I think it's going to be a family that lives in it like that.
Okay,
isn't that crazy? From the bowels of X, here are more reasons to ban the internet. Because we can't have nice things because we abuse them. And this is proof right here. Here is Olivia Juliana ziplining in Brazil. It didn't go well.
No,
that's ridiculous.
Come on.
That didn't happen.
That did not
somebody
happen.
fooling around.
Yeah.
Just using the internet irresponsibly.
Yes.
And next, I mean, what
Very
the heck?
mean.
Look at that. What the heck is this? I mean, somebody put a lot of time and effort into this. Why? What is it? It doesn't make anybody's life better.
If you could get a little peanut to distribute the peanut butter like that, wouldn't you do it?
And it just goes on and on. There's like a macaroni noodle that's puking the cheese all over the inside of the pot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Because that's what you would do.
All right. Winter is fire season.
Yes.
You talk to Joe Van Halen and the rest of those guys at the Des Moines Fire Department. They will tell you, hey, you got to be careful.
Joe Van Halen?
Yeah. No, two A's in Halen.
Oh, okay.
We met him at on RVTV one year. He was doing making that incredible brisket down in Pleasantville. Remember those guys barbecuing for us down there?
Yeah, that's been a few years.
Yeah, anyway, cool dude and a bunch of the fun
Van
guys,
Halen.
a fun crew. Yeah, Van Halen. What a great last name. But he will tell you, you don't play with fire. Fire is dangerous, man. You don't play with it, no matter how cool the video might look.
Is that dirty? Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, that was a lot of smoke. Okay, where am I landing?
Over here.
Landing. Oh, on that side? Okay, thanks, Emerson. Ready?
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Jeez.
Oh, no.
Play with fire, you get burned.
You get burned.
Sometimes literally. Denny's. Are there still Denny's? There are still Denny's. I have not seen one in years. We had one right in Kirkwood, Missouri.
A lot of them still in the South. I don't know about here.
We used to go there late night. Denny's is on some kind of cocaine bender or something right now. I don't know what's going on there.
Just to clear this up legally, he's kidding.
Look at this and you tell me. Look at this. The late night diner has just released limited edition Sticky Kicks sneakers that literally contain real maple syrup sealed inside a transparent bubble in the side of the shoe.
100% Colin would wear these.
This is not cocaine. This would be marijuana.
This is called the Drippiest Drip. It went live. The drop went live this week for Maple Syrup Day, which was Wednesday.
Drippiest Drip.
Yeah, exclusive to Denny's Rewards members. Not just anybody.
Oh, yeah,
only the best Denny's customers have access to the Drippiest Drip.
If you get there early enough, you get a discount.
Oh my God! Only certain sizes are available. Price $195. You could buy the entire menu at Denny's 3 times for $195. A South African pastor named, I'm going to guess that it's pronounced Christ, but it's definitely spelled Christ, named Christ Penelope, who leads the Sevenfold Holy Spirit Ministries, has gone viral online for a bizarre and controversial healing ritual that involves him sitting on their face and farting on their face.
This is
He
not
takes his followers, he pins them down.
This is not an ancient ritual. What this is called is Big Brother initiation.
Oh, absolutely.
Every big brother has done this to his younger brother.
Fraternity hazing right here. He claims, though.
Yeah, look at the smile on his face.
Yeah, he's
on
just
the
loving
microphone.
it. Yeah, look at how hard he is sitting on that dude's skull.
The microphone should be at the other end, though.
He's got the guy's nose
right
in
up
his wazoo.
hole.
Yeah, right there.
What?
So, and that's intentional. He says the act is spiritual in nature.
No,
says the
it's not.
healing power enters. And Scott, you tell me if this is scientifically possible.
Okay.
It says the healing power enters through the nostrils, and it compares the process to events described in the Bible. Is there face farting in the Bible?
I don't recall that
any part of that
chapter or verse.
Despite this is from the Book of Flatulus. Despite intense backlash and ridicule, reports say many followers are still waiting months for the chance to receive this so-called
how much
healing.
You either have to be brainwashed to think this could work, or two, your life is so sucky that this is your only option for hope.
The one thing you haven't tried.
But isn't this just a different version of the faith healer in the church?
It's the same thing, holy water, whatever you want to, except at this point, you're actually probably doing something. Well, I suppose there's uncleanliness when it comes to like touching or drinking out of the same space or the same cup. But this, I'm pretty sure that when you get fart particles in your nose, that's bad from somebody else.
Yeah, you get
right?
pink eye, you get pink nose.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you get pink eye.
I don't know. Like the rattlesnake churches, the wackos.
Steve Martin made a pretty good movie about that.
What was it called?
Leap of Faith.
Leap of Faith.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's your more, everybody.
I think the big thing they did was in the middle of the night they would come in and paint like a teardrop on Jesus.
Like the Jesus statue.
And people would, the next day, They move revivals from.
It's dishonest.
You ever watch people talk in tongues?
Yes.
And have you ever tried to do it yourself?
No,
it's
very strange.
You can make yourself look just like them when you're faking it. Crazy. It's almost like it's not real, Keith.
Yeah, it's almost like maybe they're faking it too. That's your more, everybody. I don't know where we would go. I'm not sure where we would go from there anyway.
That's a tough one.
Is faith farting the gutter or the ceiling?
It's the gutter. I think it's the gutter.
But I always, bad humor.
Even with faith farting, a topic I never thought would come up on this show, even with that, there's always like 1% of me that's worried that maybe it is real. So I can't ever just go.
Pascal's wager. That's what it's called. Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
It's just like I'm always a little hesitant to say anything.
Let me be clear. I'll go on the record then.
Yeah.
Farting in somebody's face does nothing to get you into the promised land.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Well, Colin is the youngest of brothers. That did not guarantee you being in the promised land.
The golden streets.
It is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Time for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. It was a really eventful more today too.
It was.
It was a lot of visuals.
Good.
Hey, we call it the AD Square.
Yeah, it's powered by Game Day Men's Health 2026. Right around the corner. Get yourself set up to hit your goals. Game Day Men's Health can help you out.
Before you do the disclaimer, AD, we're at
Boulder Tap House.
It's a nice sports bar restaurant. It's got everything.
Sam wanted me to spell Boulder like Jack Buck would spell it.
Okay, go ahead.
He would spell it Boulder. They call it Boulder Tap. It's BOULDER.
The cadence is the key.
BOULDER.
Do we need to do a sweep for families or kids?
No, I got my niece and nephew out of here. I think we'll be all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't care about anybody else's kids.
We just talked about farting for 20 minutes while everyone's eating delicious food.
Yeah, see, because none of this is actually vulgar at all. It's all innocent conversation.
Good point.
That I have place bleeps to make you hear things that aren't actually being said. But what you hear is on you. It's not on us. It's This Week in Iowa. Unnecessary censorship.
Apparently, Hilton Coliseum was pretty profane last Thursday night.
Did you guys have menus for your party? It was something else. Everybody was so up.
Yeah.
And AD warned me about that.
I'm going over to Steeple Ridge tonight, Lonely Oak Distillery.
Oh, yeah? You're going to sit on one of their
That'll be really cool.
I never suspected anything, and Kahala didn't either, so they walked in and just the out of me.
That's a good feeling.
It's the best feeling in the world. It's just amazing. You're like, oh my God.
And on Saturday, they meet at midfield, shake hands, and then absolutely try to each other for 60 minutes. It's beautiful.
I haven't read this yet. I thought the internship going to your dog story would be in here somewhere, but I guess not.
That was,
unless just the dog is mentioned.
I was trying to stay ahead, and I a whole bunch of different but I ran out of those.
Oh my God!
Got the kids are out of here.
Yeah, man, up high.
Andy, you got to be tired.
That was like you really
quite a week.
Got it there.
Yeah.
That's why you're tired and sore.
Gave it and took it.
I said everybody at your yeah, you did. I said everybody at your party was dressed up.
They
dressed
were,
up,
except us.
Yeah, but the beep makes you think that I said something else.
Oh,
I don't even know what I actually said in that one profane rant there that I had.
What, you batched a bunch of cocktails?
Batched a bunch of cocktails.
You put that one on a tee for me, Andy.
Yeah, you did.
Quickie poll results are presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
Which CFP game this weekend excites you the most? Is it Bama versus Oklahoma, Miami A&M, Tulane Ole Miss, or James Madison, Oregon?
Well, the Cinderellas are not sparking interest here.
No, I know.
It's a waste of time.
They kind of don't until they've won a couple of games. Then you're interested in them.
It's different than the basketball tournament because they're not going to win a couple of games.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like right now, they just look like they don't belong.
You know why they look like that?
Because they don't. All right, Alabama, Oklahoma running away with this one at 54% of the vote. 27% will say it's Miami and A&M for them. 10% go with Tulane, Ole Miss, and 10% also say James Madison, Oregon.
Who's voting for that? That has to be misclicks.
You say Oregon?
Oregon.
Sometimes.
Yeah, all right. Well, you say whatever the hell you want.
Have you completed your Christmas shopping for the most important person in your life yet? No is the most popular answer. 41%.
Well,
Jeez.
You got, 5 days.
Bunch of procrastinators out there.
Delivery ain't going to work anymore.
No. You're going to go brick and mortar.
Oh, man. Well, good. Support local.
Run over to Boz Prince. That's a great place to get some at the last minute.
Yeah?
You will find some stuff there that works for you.
Come get a gift card here at Boulder Tap and invite us.
Go to Skylabs. Get yourself a good vinyl.
Go to Boulder Tap. Ooh. Yeah, get some vinyl. Yeah, at Skylabs. You can do that. You go to Boulder Tap, you can eat lunch, and then you can go underwear shopping at Duluth Trading Company.
We should do that Monday. Take suggestions on best last-minute local gifts, like ideas. Where to run. That'd actually be a good story for someone to do.
I'd walk down, go to Valley West. Valley Junction. I'd walk
Valley
down
Junction.
that.
Yeah, go to Valley West right now, and you're just walking with people that are trying to stay in shape.
Like people that everybody's got somebody on their list that they just dread shopping for, right? Just dread it. Like they're so hard. It's a person that's picky. They've already got everything that they want.
The older you are, the more likely that is, too, when you're like Jenny's parents. They don't need anything.
Can't you just get them a bottle of booze?
Yes.
Yeah, that's totally.
Or the Liquor King, I told you, we just give them those big bottles of wine, and they just think that's a riot. And it's the same thing as last year, but it's just as welcome this year. Oh, my gosh. It's a big bottle of wine. You see how big this bottle of wine is? Wow.
Jim the Liquor King never ever had to think about Christmas gifts for his family.
No.
Because, first of all, they're all expecting it from him.
Unless he knows somebody is a teetotaler.
He already had, oh, God, yeah. But, I mean, now you can get all those pre-made mocktails and stuff. I bet he's got all that stuff, too. Everybody likes that stuff. Boy, the mocktails, though. Jeez, don't get me started. They're the same price.
That
like a
doesn't make sense to
mocktail.
Me. I had a Zero Eddie last week. It was good. It tasted just like an Easy
a mock beer.
Yeah. Those are really popular.
Why would you want one of those?
Oh, you know, Scott, maybe you know, you're not young, but you're younger than us.
Hey, thanks.
Why do so many young people now drink the NAs? Because they're getting baked all the time?
Marijuana is a huge part of it. Also, if you've been paying attention to maybe some of the health downsides of drinking for 50 years on your liver, some people are scared about that too.
I mean, didn't the president just make marijuana legal?
Sort of. There's a teetotaler for you.
Deregulated it.
What's the difference?
Or he reclassified it.
It won't.
I should have asked Andrew. You should ask an expert.
Yeah, they'll turn the eye. They'll just be like, well, whatever.
Okay.
I think that's.
I kind of feel like that was going on anyway, but no.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I fear
as something different.
with young folks. I mean, part of drinking, yes, maybe it's obviously not. They call it intoxication for a reason, but there are the social aspects of bonding with human beings when you get a drink or two in, where now you're a little bit looser and you're having a little bit more fun. And I fear a little bit. People aren't going out as much, and that's actually what's going on, and it's not really the health benefits.
People actually interacting is a big problem. I mean, big problem with young people too. They just stay home so much.
And I fall into that too. Now that I've started to go out again, it's like, oh wait, being out and just meeting random people.
It's good for your spirit.
It's so fun. It's so fun, and most people are really nice.
Yeah.
As long as you don't talk about a few topics, which are pretty easy to avoid, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Get out there. Enjoy your cities, everybody.
Yeah, I like to. I use an NA beer sometimes when I'm going to be at a location where people are drinking for a long time, like just as kind of a pacer every once in a while, so it doesn't get away from you.
I have started to every once in a while, though, because there's the social pressure to drink still, probably for people our age a little bit more. I'll just get soda water and lime in a rocks glass, and then everyone, because otherwise...
So you guys are telling people how they can pretend like they're drinking, but they're not.
Every once in a while. Just sneak one of those in instead of a real gin and tonic. I love a gin and tonic. I've decided the winter gin and tonic should come back. Or maybe a rye.
I don't think it ever went anywhere.
It makes you, I don't know, at least for me, I always drink them in the summer. It makes me feel like it's warmer.
Yeah, you just put a couple cranberries in it.
Andy told my father-in-law that gin and tonic is the drink of alcoholics.
No, that's like a gin straight, like a glass of gin. If somebody just pour it right out of the bottle into that cup over there, that person is an alcoholic. If they do that,
because it's not disguised like vodka or no smell.
Yeah, I do love Hendrix. That's my favorite gin.
It's a good
Big
one.
fan.
Yeah,
it's the most
expensive. It's also
one.
sexy when you go up to the bar and you're like, I have a Hendrix and tonic.
It makes it sound better than a gin and tonic.
Hell
right?
yeah.
It does. Well, hey, thank you to Boulder Tap again. How do you spell that, Andy?
BOULDER.
Yeah, it's a Boulder Tap in Ankeny. Been very nice to us here today, and we appreciate it. It's a good weekend to have a good weekend.
You damn straight.
Yeah,
Let's
it
do
is.
that.
We have all kinds of shows here on Iowa Everywhere. What's next? Happy hour tonight at 6:30. We'll have that. What do we got coming up this weekend, AD?
It's a good question.
All right.
We've got kind of a slow weekend. We got a show on Monday. We will not be with you next Wednesday, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But Friday, we will do another live show, and we'll be at Smash Park a week from today.
We are going to have on Friday. We'll be there. Okay,
that's great. The day after Christmas, that's a good day to be at Smash Park.
You got family in the house, and everybody's starting to get on each other's nerves. Take them out to Smash Park. And
come there with your family.
And everybody's favorite show, Tuesday, Overthinking with Mackenzie and Scott.
Oh, yeah. That's
next Tuesday.
We got bigger than 12 on Sunday. That'll come out this weekend.
Okay. Yeah. See? It's a lot to keep up with.
You can get caught up on buckets.
There you go.
AD's
we had a new show last night. Jake, Brendan, and I.
How'd it go?
It was great. A lot of fun.
What's the most irritating thing Jake said to you?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Nothing about the Cyclones irritating you?
Oh, yeah.
No, he doesn't.
He's not an irritating guy.
No. He's not irritating. No, he's a really good guy.
You hear that music, Murph?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Let's
Andy.
wrap up the show.
Andy has to pee. If you get a chance, please like, review, and subscribe on whatever platform you found us. You can check out the merch store at iowaeverywhere.com. And we're back Monday. All next week's going to feel like you're not really working. So join us then.